Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and today we've got a Miniverse Make It Mini Food Drinks Series 1 ball. And according to the pinhole position, this should be the strawberry boba. Okay, let's go. All of these stickers that we put on in Europe do make it hard to remove everything. There we go. Let's crack it open and see what we've got inside. So there are in this collection, I think it's 6 drinks. A strawberry boba, an ube one, lime refresher, lemonade, berry refresher and a mocha. So this one should be the strawberry boba. Let's see if we're right. So this one should be the resin. And we have what looks like strawberry milk tea, so that should be the strawberry boba. I like it when a plan comes together. At least with the pinholes you can select your items in store if you're in a bricks and mortar store, which I do like. Nobody likes duplicates really. And we have a drinks cup, and this looks like a really nice well made cup actually. Quite pretty, isn't it? So that's the cup. And one of these should be the boba, and then one of the utensils with the straw. So that should be this one. So there we go, we have the straw and the tongs. So this one should be the boba. And there we go, we have the boba. So let's make a start. I'll just tip that upside down actually, and then it's ready to go. So if we refer back to the original packaging, we can see that on the back of the strawberry boba we have some instructions. So it shows you add in the resin and the boba bowls, and with the lid and the straw, and then we give it 10 to 15 minutes in the sun. Or if you're in the northern hemisphere somewhere where it's quite, well, the northern hemisphere more to the point, where you don't get much sunlight, you can use one of these little lamps, a UV lamp, and that'll make that process a lot quicker. When you add your boba balls and then the resin, just bear in mind that it's easy to introduce air bubbles, so just check that before you cure it. So we'll add the boba. Another thing to bear in mind as well is that when you cure this under a UV lamp, it creates heat, and when you create heat, you create air bubbles, which don't look very pretty. So you can eliminate that to some extent by just curing it in different layers. So we're just going to add a bit of this first and then give it a couple of minutes under the lamp, and then we'll add another layer and finish it off. So we'll add the straw in there as well once we've had a bit of this resin. That will just give it a little bit of something to rest on as well. We've added some in there now. Let's just pop the lid back on, and then it can have another couple of minutes upside down, which will just let the resin fall back down to the bottom of the container. So we'll just give this boba a mix and see if we can get rid of some of the air bubbles that the mixing creates. So once there's Bobas in there, just have a look and see if you can eliminate those air bubbles. Eliminating them, it's not always easy. You just have to be patient. Some people say that just leaving it on a windowsill or somewhere can allow it to cure more naturally. You get less heat produced, less air bubbles. But that only really applies if you've not got any air bubbles in there to start with. If you've got air bubbles in there now at this stage, they're going to stay really in a drink like this because they're trapped by the boba. Sometimes if you have air bubbles in there at the beginning and you've not got anything like this in the drink, you know, they do sometimes just settle back to the surface if you're leaving it to cure naturally. But they don't if you're just popping them under the UV light. So now I've got rid of all the big air bubbles, I'm just going to put the straw in the centre. Gently, without creating any more air bubbles. That's roughly in the centre now. So I can have a minute or two under the lamp. So I'm going to just put the cap on there just for a moment to keep the straw centred. Let's give that a minute. Okay, that's finished curing now, so we'll add the rest of the strawberry milkshake, cure it, and then it's done. Be a little bit fiddly adding this around the straw, but just when you finish, make sure that it looks even and you've got no air bubbles, and then the final result should look okay. If you read a lot of the literature supplied with things like this, it suggests adding your resin in layers of about, I think it's maximum 10mm. I usually try and add it in layers of about 5 to 10mm. I think that's about 1/4 to 1/2 an inch for you guys who don't use a metric system. So that looks reasonable from the top. Let's just have a quick look around the sides. So there's no obvious air bubbles really down there. Got a couple of smaller ones underneath the boba there, and I think they look absolutely fine. So let's cure that, and then we'll call it done. Like a really small ball, almost like the little size of like a little Christmas bauble. But they're like, they just contain like just that little thing that I had, like one little thing of resin, a container, usually just like a sprinkle or a garnish of some kind, and that's pretty much it. But they cost about £3 a ball, which is good going really for Miniverse, because you can pay up to £15 a ball depending what range you get.
Yeah.
I tend not to get the expensive ones. There are certain ones I've noticed. I know now what sells well. So things like the Valentine's ones and the Easter ones have done well. Not sell well, sorry. What does well in terms of YouTube now? My Easter videos did amazing. Oh, I only did one, sorry. But my Easter video did amazing. So I think in future, once I know that they do a certain range, I'll go get it when it comes out if it's for a holiday.
Yeah.
There's one that's come out at the minute called Birthday, which I wish I'd done that more, because it's like I only got one of them when we went to the thing, but I wish I'd got that rather than some of the stuff that's been out for a while.
Yeah.
I think in future what I'll do is go to the physical store when I know that they've brought a new range out that's for a holiday,
Yeah.
I'll go and get them then, or if they've bought a new range out, so that I can go and... I'm going to take my weighing scales next time. I've got a little one that I'd use for postage at work and stuff. I'll go do that, and then I don't have to repeat. I don't get duplicates. Because one thing you can do is weigh the bowls. Because I don't care what bowls I get when it's a new range, as long as they're not duplicates. And then I'll go to the physical store and get stuff when I know that a range will do really well. So if it's a new range and it's not a holiday,
yeah,
it's worth spending the money on that and basically avoiding the stuff that's been out for a while. I'm going to do that, I think. So I'm not going to buy any new bowls now unless it's in those circumstances. Like the Halloween ones will be out soon, and then the Christmas ones will be out. They're bringing a new range out soon with dinosaur stuff, which I might give that a go when it comes out. They look quite cute on the pictures I've seen. But the other ranges that are coming out, they don't really float my boat, I don't think. But when I see other people doing videos of them, they might. Right, I'll just start this and just finish it off, if that's okay. Okay, so I think that should be adequate now. Let's just give it a quick check. I'll just use a trusty toothpick. Yeah, nice and solid. So if we just have a quick look around, there's no major air bubbles that I can see, so I'd call that a successful one there. So yeah, that's the strawberry boba, and I think this new range of, well, I think it's new, this drinks range I think is really good. It's really good value for money. I call it the budget range, and I think it's ideal for things like children's birthday parties. Obviously, you know, the 8+ year age range, but I think that's really good for things like children's parties, and maybe even things like little hen do's and things, if you know people like crafts and not, you know, the traditional things like pub crawls and things like that. So there you go. Cracking little project, I think, really.